name is Heather Wokusch, and thank you so much for joining us today. We are delighted to be able to be joined today by Klaus Pichler, who is an Austrian photographer. He's also a communications specialist, and he owns a very interesting art gallery in Vienna, Austria. Now, Klaus Pichler is here doing a very unique series of photographs in New York, and we will learn more about that and also his experience with Mongolian shamans. Thank you so much for having joined us, Klaus. We really appreciate it. Now, can you tell us why you're in New York right now?
Because I have this interview? No, that's not true. Well, New York is a very important step for me because I do these special photographs that you mentioned just before, and for me it was very, very important to do them also in New York. I did them in Paris, in Berlin, in Vienna, in Naples, and yeah, so New York is some new thing for that.
And so you're talking about the Vibes series of photographs.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Vibes.
So can you tell us a little bit about what this series is?
Yeah, the Vibes are a very special to me because it actually happened, it was a coincidence. I was in Paris with my husband and we were on this very exclusive street, Rue Faubourg de Saint-Honoré, and he's a stylist.
Oh, it's fancy even when you say that. So keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were in the street and he was showing, he's a stylist, and he was showing a colleague of his, you know, all these mannequins and all these stuff, what is inside these windows, and I was so bored. But suddenly I changed my focus. I saw it's not important that I see the mannequins. It's interesting if I just look at the structure of things and combine it with the things that happen outside.
Okay.
Because the reflection of the window puts another life into them. So it wasn't important anymore what the mannequins were or whatever style was in there. It was just important what happened outside. So it was a combination. And so I experimented a little bit, and I found then a technique that it's possible to show photos that you have the outside and the inside on one level. So you don't know what is real, what is reflection.
Okay.
And these are the vibes. That's how they started, actually.
Okay, so it started in Paris and
in
in the window of a boutique.
Exactly.
And do you focus on like retail windows, or is it just any reflection, or?
It depends. It depends. And these are the vibes, where the vibes came in. In Paris, it was this window shopping. You know? And in Vienna, it was also some windows, but it must not be actually some fancy store or whatever.
Okay.
But there must be life behind the window and outside the window.
There must be life.
There must be life. For me, it was there must be life. There must be there must be a combination, and this is where the vibes start. Actually, the vibes are my vibes, the vibes that I have with a certain town. So every town looks different. When you look at Paris, that's fancy, that's fashion, that's
Are you talking
very
about
posh.
me again?
I'm talking always about you when I talk about fancy.
No. Okay, so Paris had its feeling. And what was the next city?
The next of it, I was asked to do a book about Vienna in this style.
Okay.
To do photos for this.
Vienna,
to do
Austria.
a title, And I did the title shoot for this. And Vienna came completely different because it was, Vienna got structured. It was completely different to Paris, where the mannequins weren't important anymore. It was just about structure, and very structured pictures. And
which is interesting because obviously your photos are reflecting the culture of the society, and I live in Vienna and I understand that structure. So
Vienna, I love Vienna. For me, it's the best place to live and also the best place to go away and to come back.
Okay.
But you're right, it's structure. And that's why I'm here, actually. Because, you know, for me, it's very important to get into open places.
Okay.
And New York is, for me, a very open, free place. I love it. From the first minute that I'm here, I love it, really. I also love Berlin, Naples, all the cities that I did. And Vienna is a good place to live, but not just to be.
Okay, well, that's an
and
interesting
the structures are shown in the pictures.
Okay, let's actually go right to New York. We'll go to the other European cities later. How do you find the photographs that you have taken so far in New York? How would you describe that feeling?
This is pure art and energy.
Pure what?
Art.
Oh.
This is pure art and energy.
Pure art and energy.
For me, in New York, nearly everything is a piece of an exhibition. You know, when I walk through New York, I don't have any plan. I stay in Williamsburg. I love it.
Yeah.
I go out. I'm there. I discover the city and.
What do you love about Williamsburg?
It's unique.
Okay.
It's pure. I love all the fancy people, but also the alternative people. It's a really cool mixture.
Okay.
And it's authentic. I love this authentic style. And this is Williamsburg.
Okay.
I'm really happy to stay there.
Great.
And yeah, and that's also art. You know, I walk around, I see these things, and I see it from different perspectives, because then my energy gets into these things, and suddenly I'm known for my photographs that they have different perspectives. And I do a lot of things which are not so normally allowed, with light and all this stuff. And this is in New York. I can walk over a bridge and find 1,000 pictures to exhibit. You know?
Now, where can the people who are watching this episode, where can they see some of your photographs?
KlausPichler.com.
They can go to your website, they can see some of the photographs that you've got. Before we go to the Mongolian shamans, let's talk about Naples. What would you say if New York is art and energy, Vienna's structured, what's Naples?
Naples is pure life.
Pure life.
If you want to experience Italy, you have to go to Naples, because Naples is as Italy was for 50 years, or you know, this is pure life. This is also, there is a lot of dirt, but it's known for a lot of dirt and of the problems that they have with this. But there's more. The people are also real. The cuisine is real. You know, there's not this chichi pompon, they say in French. I don't know what's in English. And this is pure life. And you see this in the pictures. In Berlin, this is completely different. Berlin is crazy. And you
crazy
see
in a
this
good way.
Crazy in a real good way.
Okay.
In German, we have this word verrückt. So you're not on the right position.
Okay.
And I love this word very much. And this is Berlin.
Okay. Okay.
And it's out of structure, complete different to Vienna.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do now? So New York is the latest on the Vibe series, and then you will return to Vienna and put this all together and probably have an exhibition. What are you going to do with these amazing photographs?
Well, one exhibition after the other.
Okay. Okay. And I believe that you're going to be doing a book as well.
Yeah, I'm doing a book as well too,
Okay.
and I'm doing also a calendar.
And a calendar.
I decided
as well.
here in New York actually that I will do a calendar of New York.
A
of
calendar
these New
of
York,
New York
vibes, because this
Okay.
is something very, very special, I think.
Okay, and also, of course, all of these photographs have hung in your gallery, or they will hang in your gallery in Vienna, Bildbank. Can you tell us a little bit about your gallery?
It's a very special place for me. It's my baby. I was looking for a studio in Vienna, and I was offered this place there in the heart of Vienna, in the Triangle of Art, which is a very special place there where it's situated. And at the beginning I was thinking, why the hell should I take such a big place for a studio for me? But then I thought, well, maybe I could do my own gallery. And you know, it's often very difficult to exhibit. You know, at the beginning it's very difficult to exhibit, and then you need to have different possibilities to, and you need to be independent to exhibit your pictures, and you need a very good place for this.
Right.
So I thought, why not have my studio and have my own gallery in a perfect place? That was the first step. And then I thought, well, it's now easy for me, and it worked out great. Knock on wood. And so I said, I know how it was for me at the beginning. And there are a lot of really great artists out there who have no possibility or a lot of difficulties in showing their artwork. So I thought I could also give this gallery always for a certain time of period to them. And of all my learnings, I made out this package where young artists can also show their places in my gallery.
And I understand that you actually are going to have a New York artist come to your gallery and exhibit next month, which is quite unusual.
Yeah, it's quite, and I'm very happy about her because I saw her artwork and I really like it.
Yeah, Yuko Kodama.
She does great work, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy that she's coming. I've also come people from Berlin. I like to have, this place should be some unstructured place in Vienna.
Yeah, please.
This is something what is very important for me.
And
to have this energy. I like to have this energy of the world in this place. So there will be Austrian artists. There will be artists wherever they come from. I look at the art and I will know if it's right for the place. The place is a very special place, and the energy in this place is very special. So the art has to fit in. Yuko's art fits perfectly in.
It definitely fits.
It makes it richer. The art. It's more than this.
Now, speaking of unstructured and sharing global things, you did a photo shoot, or you accompanied a group of Mongolian shamans in a very unique way. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was asked by the Mongolian embassy to do some photos of Mongolia last year. And I said, well, yes, but not just the regular landscape photos. They exist already. Why should I do that? I heard about shamans, and I heard about the real shamans who live in Mongolia. So I said, if I do it, then you have to provide me with shamans. I like to travel with shamans. Yeah, it was a coincidence.
Nothing is a coincidence.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right. I was in Western Mongolia with two shamans. Well, one dolmetsch and one driver. Western Mongolia is a part where you don't go normally because it's really far away and far from everything. But I went with them on their ritual tour, what they do once a year or every second year to give their Holy Spirit something back. So they do rituals all over this route, and it was the first time that these rituals have been photographed.
It was the first time that these had been photographed. Was there resistance among the people to have this photograph?
No, not at all.
Did they understand what a photograph was?
Yes, they did. But it was funny when we were talking about this deal in Vienna, and the Mongolian people came here and we talked, and I said to them, well, I'm known that I'm a quite respectful photographer in portraits, and if they don't want this, that I do the photographs, I won't do it in this situation. And they looked at me and say, well, don't worry about this. If they don't want you to do that photo, it won't work.
The camera won't work.
And I was thinking, okay, but it's true.
It's true? What do you mean?
It can happen. It can happen. This is something out of our mind. This shaman, all these rituals, all this is for us maybe sometimes like Harry Potter for adults.
Okay.
For them it's normal that very special things happen. And during this trip I was very happy that I had the camera actually, because it gave me a little distance to what happened there when they did the rituals, when they were talking with ghosts. This is very, very special. I will do a book out of this.
Okay.
It will be a thing now between a diary. I wrote a diary about all the things that happened.
Okay.
And I will write this together with a Mongolian lady who was the dolmetsch.
The translator.
The translator, yeah.
Okay.
I will have my perspective, she will have her perspective, and this will be together with all the pictures that we do, because very special. There are photographs from places which have never been photographed, of rituals which have never been photographed. I'm very happy to do this.
So we've got shamans in Mongolia, we've got retail windows in New York and in urban areas.
Sounds funny.
It's eclectic, but that's great. I mean, certainly it's a broad range. Where do you see yourself going next? Or what are some of the things that you are possibly interested in photographing next or in working on next?
I think the great thing is that I don't know.
Okay.
Because if you have asked me 1 year ago, I wouldn't have known that I go to Mongolia, that I will open an art gallery, that I'm sitting here now.
Do you sleep?
Yes, two lads actually. My husband always tells me I should sleep more. But I don't need that much sleep. I get the energy out of my work, and when you have this is yeah.
Save the rainforest, you know.
No, but I will definitely come back to New York. This is what I know for sure, that I have to be here once a year.
Have you ever thought of possibly living here for a more extended period than a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quick. What is it that you love about New York?
I think it's the inspiration.
Okay.
It's the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but I feel so at home here.
Yeah.
I feel so at home from the first minute. I don't know why this is actually. I spent here my honeymoon. I loved it at that time. But this time it's very special for me because everything is so, yeah, it's inspired, it's energy, but it's also a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
It's also quiet. It's you know, I think it's more unstructured than Vienna or Europe in some cases is.
Almost everything is more structured than Vienna.
No, but honestly, again, I love Vienna, and it's a
too,
great place to live, but not to stay the whole year there. It's if you need energy, if you need inspiration, you have to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other city that's on your list for the Vibe series next? Or how do you pick your cities? Put it that way.
Actually, they were picked. You know,
Okay.
I'm invited by cities to do these portraits of this city.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would do this in the States too, if there's a possibility, for example.
So if a city were interested in
Yeah,
having
sure.
you visit
Yeah,
it
yeah.
and do the Vibe series,
yeah.
then you would just go
I
and
would
do it.
do it. I would
Yeah.
definitely do it.
Are there any on your list that you would think, oh, I'd like to go there,
Yes.
but they're secret?
Yeah. There are some, but you know,
Okay.
I think always when I learned in my life,
Mhm.
when I was thinking too much,
Mm-hmm.
it's not good for me.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it always happens here. It never happened here.
Okay.
And this
Okay.
is a thing that I learned a lot in Mongolia when I was there, because
Mhm.
it's not so much about thinking.
Mhm.
It's more about feeling and doing.
Okay.
And
And
this
being
is
open to new possibilities.
just being open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be open, and it sounds very be open. Yeah, but it's about it.
Can you tell us one of your kind of Harry Potter magic moments that you had when you were with the shamans? You said, oh, you were a bit evasive and secretive.
Yeah.
But what's one thing that happened that just, wow, was really changing for you?
There were a couple of things, but one thing what was really amazing was we were at, I think it was the third biggest stone grave of Asia, where they did
Stone grave of Asia?
A lot of stones were just in the, I think we have the picture here. They were doing the ritual, and the
Okay.
translator said to me, look, when they do the ritual, it's gonna rain.
And it wasn't raining at the time.
It wasn't raining, but you know there were clouds, and as European you say,
Okay.
yeah, there are clouds. The possibility is there that it rains. And it was raining. And afterwards the translator said to me, look, you see it has rained. And I said, yes, it has rained, so what? And he said, but look around, just 100 meters around us. And it was true. It was just raining around this stone grave and the ritual. And it was, who? And that was the point when I was always happy to have the camera. You know, this gave me always distance.
So it only rained in the area in which they were doing the ritual, but the
Exactly.
other places were dry.
Complete dry.
Okay, and how did that fit with your
goodness.
Western mind?
Yeah, the thing is that you have to, you know, at the beginning of the trip,
Mhm.
all things that happened when they say, you know, the ghosts are coming, we're waiting for the ghosts. And I said, okay, we're waiting for the ghosts. But they sent ambassadors before. And
The ghosts sent
the
ambassadors?
ghosts send ambassadors,
Okay.
which are birds.
Okay,
And every shaman has a certain bird which is
Okay.
connected to him.
okay.
And there was this one ritual where they said, we have to wait for the ambassadors of the ghosts. And I said, okay, where are they? And suddenly, 10 eagles came.
10
eagles came out of nowhere. I've got no clue where they came. And sat on a tree together. Eagles are not known that they are together. Yeah? And they were sitting there, and then the ritual started, and then they flew away.
Oh
It was-
my goodness.
It's completely out of, and you know, you always try to find explanation
Mhm,
inside
mhm,
there. You
mhm.
try to find, how can this now be possible?
Mhm.
But I decided, I think after the 6th or 7th day,
Mhm.
6th or 7th day, I don't try to find any more explanation, because there is no explanation, and I would get crazy. I would get crazy. That's why I really learned to kick this away. And a lot of things like that happened, and it's for our structured European life, it's completely out of any range of thinking. For them, it's completely normal, you know? They knew that it would rain when they do that ritual on that place at that time, that the eels have to come. They knew it. For us, it's very, and I think we can learn a lot out of that, not just always thinking and thinking and thinking.
But I think also that's the beauty of your art, because we can also learn simply by looking at the photographs. We can get a little bit of feeling of these different cities. When we look at your photographs of Mongolia, for example, we can get a bit of the feeling of the magic, and that's part of your other career, which is a communication specialist. I think that these two avenues that you do are very much linked, even though on the surface it appears that they're not, but they are, because through your photographs you're helping us communicate in areas and countries and worlds and experiences that we normally wouldn't go to. And that's a very powerful thing. I think that's very powerful art, you know?
Thank you. For me, I love communication overall. And if I do photographs, if I talk to you, whatever I do, it's about communication. You need empathy, you need to understand. And I always like to understand and to like to feel it. And this is, and I like to create new things. That's for my photograph, the Vibe series, for example. The reflections, I create a complete new thing out of nowhere. You know, I could have looked at and be bored for the rest of the trip in Paris, about looking in these windows. I think in our life it's sometimes very important to change the perspective and see, oh, okay, there's a mannequin, but on the other side there's a window, this is structure, what happens in that window? And I create completely new images with some things which are here. And I think they are every time in our life they're here.
Well, in terms of creating a new perspective, have you ever thought of setting up a gallery in New York?
Maybe.
Who
We'll
knows?
see. We'll see if there is a chance. Maybe. I think we need a lot of places like the Bildbank in Vienna, where people have the possibility to show in their own freedom their art, and not because art is also very structured. You know, you have to have the right connections in the right. I know this, you know, and I'm happy to have some connections. But if you have a lot of artists out there have no connections, and they deserve it to be shown and to inspire all of us. You know, art is about inspiration, about looking forward, about widen up our horizon, whatever it is. And
I think it's also about diversity, and you know, if everybody has the exact same connections, and you have to, you know, freak out about money and you know, getting into only this special gallery, then it really limits the kind of art that we can see, and the kind of the really talented artists that should be displayed, as you have said, you know, and so that's also very, very important. Can you tell us just a little bit more about what Bildbank is for you? You know, I mean, what is the feeling that you wanted to create there, apart from the, you know, being able to offer this opportunity to artists who possibly, you know, otherwise would not have been shown? What else is your secret Harry Potter thing about that gallery?
I think I got this feeling from the moment when I went inside the Bildbank.
Okay.
And
did it start raining on the inside there?
No, I just
little eagles on the side.
This doesn't happen in Vienna, or we don't see this in Vienna. No, I had.
What was your feeling?
The feeling was, this is a special place. This was the first feeling. And what makes it special for me is it's a location in a very, very exclusive area in Vienna, which is very open-minded. And with every exhibition, it gets a different energy, and it gets more out of it. So when you enter this, you just feel it. You have to experience it. And it's Bildbank. It's translated picture bank. It has a reason, because to look at and to sit. And
bank, not as in a commercial bank that you get your money. You're a bench.
A bench.
So a picture
bench.
bench.
It's a picture bench, exactly. And not just to walk around to be fancy and look at pictures, it's to sit there.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are also a lot of chairs inside there.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wanted to do something different. I have a lot of red things inside there, which is not very usually, because normally the gallery should be very down to earth colors.
Okay.
And I like to do some signals there. It's we say it has to be. Why? Let's put red inside there, and it fits, and it doesn't disturb the art at all.
Signals. What do you mean signals?
Yeah, signals. You know, the art that I display there should be a signal for us to see there's more than that. There's more than that that we see every day, that we do every day, that, you know, you turn on the TV, you turn on the radio, you listen to every time the same things.
Mm-hmm.
And this place should open us up a little bit. And Vienna needs it. And I think a lot of other cities do need that too. So if I come back to your question of New York, I'm not quite sure if New York's needed, but if there is a possibility, I might do it.
Okay. And in the same way that you're trying to create Build Bank to be a space that opens up areas, I, again, would compliment you on your photography, because I do think that that opens up the perspective of, you know, people across the world to see it. And so we thank you so much for having joined us today.
You.
It was fascinating.
Thank you.
And now if you find yourself in Vienna, Austria, you can certainly just go visit Build Bank. The URL is shown right now. We thank you very much for joining us, and we would like to leave you with the idea of art and life and energy, and that is what New York is. Thank you so much for joining us.